Simcha, celebration, Simcha, Simcha, celebration of life.
Hello, welcome to Simcha, a celebration of life. I'm your host, Nikki Wellman. The Chevra Kadisha is the oldest Jewish organization in Johannesburg and the largest Jewish welfare organization on the African continent. Established in 1888, it's been taking care of the welfare and burial needs of the community for over 120 years. Its sound principles and wise approach to welfare have made it a model and example for all Jewish organizations to follow. Today, we look at just one organization that falls under the auspices of the Chevra, Sandringham Gardens.
I think amongst the benefits of having one organization looking after the community's welfare is the fact that economically it's much more viable and much more sustainable. We can leverage off each organization. There's economies of scale in terms of the back-end work, the admin, finance, etc. All things that would otherwise have to be duplicated in other organizations if we were separate. So about 15 years ago, the people in charge at the time took a bold decision to try and start integrating these different organizations, different separate organizations, into one welfare organization under the Chev. And the Chevra Kadisha of Joburg, its main purpose is to ensure the viability of all of those organizations. The organizations themselves deliver the service to whomever they're serving, aged care, Sandringham Gardens, focusing on giving the best service to our clients, whilst the Chevra Kadisha is more of the back office part of the organization that looks after the admin side of it, as well as the all-important fundraising. About 80% of our 200 million rand budget really depends on people's generosity. So the whole arm of the Chevra Kadisha, which looks at fundraising and generating revenue for the group.
Sandringham Gardens is a retirement centre for Jewish older folk. We have 450 people that live with us, and we provide a continuum of service. So we have people who are independent, who don't need any sort of support and services, going through to people who need a small amount of assistance, and we call that assisted living, and then going through to people who need full-time care, where they're not able to mentally or physically function on their own. And we also have a specialist area for people who suffer from dementia. I think one of the daunting things about coming to live in a residential setting is having to adjust to the community living, particularly if you've been living on your own for a long time. And I think one of the difficulties in Sandringham Gardens is that it is such a big facility. So moving into a place like this can be difficult for our residents. And we have implemented a number of systems to try and overcome that. We have a residents committee who try and befriend those residents to orientate them.
The residence committee is an interaction between the people that live here and the management of Sandringham Gardens. We get involved in everything.
I've been here for 4.5 years.
I'm here nearly 5 years.
And I love it. Every minute of it. It's absolutely divine. You got everything you need.
Yeah,
what you want
we got everything what we need here.
And we're quite happy. I'm very happy.
You know, it's like everywhere else. You get the odd person that you don't like. You find somebody that you do, and that's how it is. On the whole, it depends on a person, I think. I think you've got to make the most of what you have.
Our lifestyle centre is actually headed up by an occupational therapist, Kay Govender. So she's very aware of the value of activity in looking at both physical coordination but also cognitive stimulation for our residents.
And let's go for the exercise, remember? Yes. Okay, Ruth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, left, right. Let's start again.
I had a stroke. I can't speak at all, but I'm getting better all the time.
And then we have a rehab centre where we have our occupational therapists, physiotherapists, and a speech and hearing therapist. And they will focus primarily on the physical rehabilitation of our residents post-operation, post having had a stroke, to try and improve their quality of life from a physical aspect. There is a psychological component to that, obviously, because the more the resident can do for themselves, the more self-esteem they will have, and obviously the better quality of life they will experience.
I dance, do everything myself, and lovely.
Yes. Are we going to Hollywood?
I think so, yes.
Good show.
I've been here now 7 years.
And how is it?
Huh?
What's it like here?
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I mean it.
You're very happy here, eh?
I count my blessings.
Tell them how old you are.
96.
You look very sprightly, 96.
I'm 94. How do you like that? But I'm a bowler, you see. I've been a bowler all my life. There's evidence ever since I first started, you know, and that's it.
Many of our residents are late 80s and in their 90s. In fact, we had a wonderful experience here. We had the Department of Social Development were here, and the NEC for Health in Gauteng walked down our passage. She wanted to see our building, and she bumped into one of our gentlemen and said to him, you know, how old are you? And he said, I am 100 years and 116 days old. And she was quite flabbergasted. And she actually said to him, well, I'm looking for a husband. So he said to her, madam, you have come to the right place. All the ladies come here.
I play in games, woman games. Well, I've got the upstairs helps me. I'm always alive, and I'm always happy. Doesn't matter, no problem, no frightened.
We do have younger people that come and live with us, and that is usually because there is a physical disability.
My name's Jura Sheen. I'm a bit young to be, I'm only 60, but 20 years ago I had a terrible car accident and I had slight brain damage, and I've been living here for about a year. And I love it. I'm very happy. I've got a boyfriend who lives here too, so we're very happy living here.
The Eric and Sheila Sampson Medical Community Centre, housed within Sandringham Gardens, is the largest geriatric hospital in the country, seeing over 3,000 patients a year. The medical clinic offers the expertise of 3 general practitioners, consulting specialists and nursing staff specialising in geriatrics.
Our medical center, serving medical needs of patients of Sandringham Gardens and Jewish community. We looking after the patient who needed medical help, be it acute or chronic medical care. And in addition, we're also serving the needs of Jewish community. Sometimes they're coming for acute treatment and remain our residents because they no longer could be at home on their own.
Our older folk in particular are compromised in that they won't be seen as priority in government hospitals. And so our aim is to try and provide the services here for them so that they don't need to be hospitalized. Because that change of environment for them can also be pretty traumatic. And research has shown that that also leads to a deterioration. And if you have a look at older people, they tend to, as you say, have a relationship with the GP, and that trust in that doctor is also important. And I think there is a security that there is the doctor there to assist them.
Geriatrics care needs love and special feeling towards the patient who are here. And this is what we're trying to provide. A little bit, or maybe more, of personal care. We know all our patients by their names. They're like a family to us.
Being 90 years old, she has no pain, and that's a real blessing. And she's looked after. They get breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, supper, and then at 7 o'clock in the evening, a snack. I mean, you don't find hotels like this so easily.
I've been a blood donor since 1944, 15 years old. I carry the world record. I've given 332 litres. I'm going to be in the Guinness Book of Records. I'm the only Jewess right through the world.
We've got different levels of care. We've got residents who are fully independent, who are getting their doctor's appointment in outpatient department where they're getting their needs attended by a doctor. And we've got assisted living care, the patient who need a little bit more of nursing care, who are semi-independent. And we've got a frail care section, which are cares for patients who require 24-hour nursing care, who are not able to look after themselves completely. We've got an acute ward, which is acute ward and rehabilitation ward, where we admit patients who are acutely ill. Some of them required intravenous treatment. Some of them admitted from outside, from the different facilities. Some of them are discharged from the hospital and they're not completely recovered from being discharged from the hospital, and we carry on with their care.
In our pharmacy, we have a system we started a number of years ago where we blister pack our residents' medication. The reason for that was actually twofold. We looked at research and we had been looking at medication errors, and we were trying to decrease our medication errors. And medication errors can be either from the doctors, from the nurses, from administration, and from the pharmacy.
We do prescriptions for about 1,000 people a month, and so it works out about almost 5,000 sheets a month that we pack medicine. It is very important that the medicines are taken correctly to get the desired effect. And this blister packing system has been developed and devised so that we try and attain 100% compliance with the medicine. Also, a lot of the people getting medicine, their medicines are given to them by healthcare workers. And they can't always read, and they don't always know how and when to give the medicines. Doing it in this blister pack form, it makes it much easier.
various medical units are available on the premises, including radiography, trauma, podiatry, optometry and dental care, all of which are on offer to the residents of Sandringham Gardens.
At Sandringham Gardens, we also provide facilities for professional students to do their practical training. And we also, in fact, have students from a beauty school who come and do our residents' nails and mini facials and massages, which is the other side of the coin, but the residents absolutely enjoy it. And in fact, that's one of the things that we are looking towards now. We have a very good medical service, and we're looking to promote more of our psychosocial service.
We're at Sandringham Spa. Treatment for my neck, which is, I've had a very big op on my neck years ago, but now we're having relaxing at the spa.
You can have everything done here that you want. Your nails, your massage, you name it, it's all here.
Teach you to walk, teach you to sit up straight, use your legs, use your arms, all sorts of things.
The library is actually a multi-purpose room. For instance, if they need a conference room, it's available. And if people want to have some study groups, they use the library. And it's a lovely, warm, comfortable room. So it's really a very good adjunct to Sandringham Gardens. Most of our books come from generous contributors. People pass away and they pass on the books. Nothing here is actually bought. It's all contributed.
With all that Sandringham Gardens has to offer its residents, there is also a need for spiritual upliftment. A beautiful synagogue housed on the premises has become an integral part of daily Jewish life and is frequented by many of the residents for daily prayers and high holy days.
There's an aspect that I'd like you to see is our shul. Because our shul, I want to tell you, is one of the most traditional shuls in South Africa.
I am the group rabbi of the Chevra Kadisha, which incorporates Sandringham Gardens. So in effect, I do all the rabbinical supervision, all the rabbinical duties at Sandringham Gardens, as well as our other institutions. We are blessed at Sandringham Gardens to have all of our shul services, Shachrit, Mincha, Mariv, every single day. We have a wonderful minyan, which is coordinated by our wonderful Gabbai over here, Mr. Shabsi Myers, who is a resident at Sandringham Gardens. I'd also like to pay tribute to Chazan Shmaryahu Rabinovitz, who did excellent duty in the capacity of religious coordinator at Sandringham Gardens for 26 years, and he really built up the shul over here, and it's largely owing to him that we have such strong minyanim every single day, all of the services, including Shabbat and Yom Tov, and the entire year round.
They booked me three chairs for the bima, to walk up. I got sleepy, and they ran at me like a king, did.
You see, in the shul, we give everybody a chance to have an aliyah. There's no, I favor this one or that one. Everybody gets a chance. And our good friend here, Israel, comes to shul. He got his aliyah, and obviously we got to help him up onto the bima, but that of course is a pleasure. And he said his bit, and he's happy, and we happy, and everybody's happy.
All of the food is prepared according to strict strict halachic guidelines. All of the food is kosher. We have supervision that all of the food is kosher and the utensils are kosher and the kitchens are kosher. And that's another one of the many blessings that we have in the religious, spiritual realm of the Chevra Kadisha. We have many, many shiurim going, both at Sandringham Gardens and our parents' home and in the other facilities. That's a very important responsibility of mine, to continuously not only get people to come to shul and practice religion as it should be done, but to inspire people to be passionate about their Judaism and to enjoy their Judaism and to fill it to the best of their ability in our institutions.
A couple of years ago, the Department of Social Development did an audit at Sandringham Gardens, and the feedback that they gave us, that this was the first fully comprehensive geriatric service that they had come across in the country. So we're very proud of the fact that we have this holistic, comprehensive service, and we're constantly striving to improve it and meet all the needs of our residents as much as we possibly can.
The community has a responsibility to Sandringham Gardens because we have a commitment and we have a responsibility to people who are aged. I think that is something that is incumbent on all of us, to make sure that we look after our senior citizens. I think people can judge a society on how it looks after its senior citizens. And it's a privilege for the community to actually be involved in such fantastic work.
I think people don't understand the tremendous satisfaction that one gets working with older people and the difference one can make in the quality of their life, as well as in the quality of the dying process. And for me, there is no compensation for the satisfaction I get out of being able to make a difference to the lives of our older folk.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you so much for being with us. And if you'd like to catch up on past episodes, you can do so by visiting our website at www.spiritsister.co.za. And remember, we're always waiting to hear from you, so find us on Facebook at Spirit Sister Productions Network. As always, from me, Nikki, and the entire team, shalom and have a safe and peaceful week.